Good morning one and all. I am T Gayatri, an associate professor from Department of ECE at Reddy College of Engineering and Technology. Today's topic is Reflex Klystron. Now, we know that microwave tubes are of two types, O type and M type. Out of the O type tubes are also called as linear tubes or rectilinear tubes. Here the electron will move in a straight line. The example for O type tubes are two cavity klystron, reflex klystron and TWT. TWT is travelling wave tube. Today's topic is reflex klystron. I am explaining the construction and working of reflex klystron. Now, we know that two cavity klystrons are better used as amplifiers. When we try to use them as oscillators, we will face many problems like phase effect, bunching problem. Hence, we are going to reflex klystron. The reflex klystron has only single cavity. So, we can overcome all the problems of two cavity klystron. The reflex klystron also has an electron gun. It has only one cavity. There is a repeller here in the reflex klystron. In the two cavity klystron, at this space we have collector, but here we have repeller. The repeller also given with the negative terminal of the battery. The electron gun as usual given with the negative terminal of the battery. Now, we know that the electron gun is given with the negative terminal of the battery. Because of this negative terminal, the electrons are emitted from this electron gun. Now, there are two focusing electrodes which will monitor the beam of the electron. Now, this part of the device is called as electron gun. Now, there are two focusing electrodes. These are called as These are the two focusing electrodes which will monitor the beam of the electron to go in a straight line. Now, there is only one cavity. The one cavity works as a buncher cavity and the catcher cavity. We will take the RF output from here. Now, when the electrons are moving, they will interact with this RF field in this gap. The electron, after they move here, now this part of the device is also connected to the negative terminal of the battery. We know that like charges repel. The electron is a negative charge and this is a negative terminal, hence this is called repeller. The repeller will repel the electron. It will repel the electron, so the electron will turn back and will group here, and here bunching takes place. So, this is a place where bunching takes place. Velocity modulation is a principle of reflex klystron. I want to ask a question. Reflex klystron comes under which category of microwave tubes? And what is the principle of reflex klystron? The answer is reflex klystron come under O type of microwave tube, and velocity modulation is a principle of reflex klystron. Now, this is the working of reflex klystron. Because of this negative terminal, the electron gun is activated and it will emit the electrons. The emitted electrons are monitored by the two focusing electrodes. Now, these electrodes make the electron move in a straight line. The electron beam is directed towards the repeller. Now, when the electron beam is interacting with the RF signal here in this gap, then bunching takes place, velocity modulation takes place. These electrons as usual move to the repeller and they will get back again to the cavity. There is one cavity, there is only one cavity in this reflex klystron. Now, bunching takes place here. This part of the device is called as repeller since it is repelling the electrons because it is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Now, this velocity modulation can be better explained by the apple gate diagram of reflex klystron. This is the RF input. Now, as usual, here we have 3 electrons. They are early electron, reference electron and the late electron. Now, the difference between 2 cavity klystron and reflex klystron is, in 2 cavity klystron, the early electron is subjected to the negative RF input, hence it was moving slowly. But here, the early electron is subjected to the positive RF input. The reference electron, as usual, it is subjected to the 0 RF input. The late electron is here subjected to the negative RF input. Now, these 3 electrons, after interaction with this RF signal, this is how bunching takes place. Because the early electron is subjected to the negative RF input, it moves with high velocity and to the longer distance. This velocity of electron is V greater than V naught. Now, the reference electron is subjected to the 0 RF input, hence it moves with the nominal velocity V is equal to V naught. Now, the late electron moves with the less velocity because it is subjected to the negative RF input here. So, it only moves with the late velocity V less than V naught. I am sorry. So, this is the conclusion. The early electron moves fast and moves deep into the repeller space. So, it travels with great velocity and to the longer distance and it moves fast, that too with great velocity V greater than V naught. Now, reference electron moves with nominal speed and it travels to the correct distance. It moves with velocity V is equal to V naught. The late electron moves slow. It will not penetrate deep the repeller space. It will just come till here and it will return back to the cavity. So, it will move to the lesser distance compared to the early electron and reference electron. The velocity is V less than V naught, hence it will move slowly. Now, all the 3 electrons will meet here and this is called bunching. This is the principle of reflex klystron. Thank you. We will meet in the next class.